हर साल गिराती
concept के कारण. This is the one of the reason why we charge the depreciation. This is the one of the reason. There is another is the fair reporting. That what is already highlighted by रोशन भाई. ठीक है. आपने जो बोला कि रेवेन्यू और एक्सपेंस को मैच करेंगे, विच यू सेड. तीसरा आपने फेयर रिपोर्टिंग, और तीसरा पर्पस ये होता है कि व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू बाई, जब आप फ्यूचर में इसको बाई कर रहे हो तो एक तरह से आप क्या करते हो, आप एक्सपेंस बुक करते हो, लेकिन इनडायरेक्टली यू आर मेकिंग अ फंड सो दैट आप जब फ्यूचर में यू कैन बाई अनदर एसेट. ठीक है. तो आपकी फेयर रिपोर्टिंग के लिए ये यूज किया जाता है. अब बात आता है कि डेप्रिशिएशन जो होता है इज द रिडक्शन ऑफ द एसेट ड्यू टू वियर एंड टियर एंड द इफ्लक्स ऑफ टाइम. ये एक्चुअल में बुक का डिफिनेशन है. ठीक है. ड्यू टू वियर एंड टियर है, ताकि यूज करो नहीं करो, इफ्लक्स ऑफ टाइम रखा हुआ है वो भी उसका वैल्यू जाएगा. यस.
Sir, sorry for the interruption, sir. Can you speak in English, sir? I can't understand.
No, I say depreciation, when you are charging, there is a reason behind that. There is a one reason, that is the matching concept. Because if you are earning the revenue, you have to provide whatever the expenses related or against that revenue. This is the one of the reason. The second reason, which is highlighted by Roshan Bhai, he said that we provide the depreciation so that we can have a fair reporting. We cannot, like if we don't provide the depreciation, it means we will be showing inflated balance sheet. We will not able to provide the correct profit. Okay, we will show the higher profit. We will show the higher balance sheet figure. So that will be showing, that will be considered as an inflated. So we have to give the fair reports. That's why we are providing the depreciation. There is a third reason, that actually depreciation is a non-cash expenses. So you are caveating yourself. You are making a fund so that in future, whenever you are requiring the asset, you can buy out of that. Okay, so there is a one reason. That's why in some of the company, they always maintain the sinking fund against the depreciation. Okay, if they depreciate by 100, they make the sinking fund for the 100, so that gradually they can put a fund in one of the investment, and once the life of the asset is finished, on that day they will take out that investment, go and buy the new assets. So this is the one way of also keeping your things active. Okay, and it won't give you a financial burdens to you on that time. So this is one of the reason to give the depreciation. And the depreciation, the definition is, depreciation is an expenses due to the wear and tear, expenses of asset and the efflux of time. Since if even sometimes you don't use the product, but still it is depreciating. That's why the definition include the word efflux of time, passes of time, passage of time. You can say whatever the terms you want, you can use it. So this is the reason. Now in our CMA, we just have to read few, like only 2 to 3 types of depreciations, and in exam they will ask you to calculate the depreciation. So you need to know the practical, how you can calculate the depreciation, what is the accounting of depreciation. So right now I am going with the straight line method. I am going with the straight line method. A straight line method is also called as SLM. Straight line method is also known as the SLM, straight line method. So I said that I have an initial investment. Initial investment of 10,000. That you 10,000, and on the part of installation, you have spent say 5,000. So what is the expenses for you now? 15,000 is the cost of that asset. Now, you know that there is an economic life. It means what is the useful life? You can use this asset. If I say you can use it for 5 years, 5 years, it means every year you have to provide a depreciation. Depreciation per annum will be 15,000 divided by 5. Means every year I will be providing the depreciation of how much? 3,000. This is going to be the depreciation every year. So now I'll tell you the accounting of depreciations. You can use the two type of accounting. One, you can directly charge the depreciation to the asset. The other way of doing the depreciation, you can make a provision for depreciation account or accumulated depreciation account. There is a two way of doing it. You can follow any of the, basically a small business or medium business, SME, small and medium industries always use the direct depreciation, which is charging against the asset. So what is the depreciations? Journal will be there. Year one, once the year will be finished, they have to pass the depreciation. So the entry will be depreciation account will be debit 3,000 and credit will be assets account. So asset account will be credited by 3,000. So this is the one way of doing it. There is another way of doing it. You can charge the depreciation and the same time you have to create a separate account. That account is known as provision for depreciation, or some people say accumulated depreciation. So you can say whatever you want. So
गैप को इसमें बड़ा नहीं है, गैप में accumulated बोल रहा है और हम लोग यहाँ प्रोविजन बोलते हैं.
इंडिया में प्रोविजन बोलते हैं, फॉरेन में accumulated बोलते हैं. ठीक है. So, but whatever you say, name doesn't matter. The treatment is remain same. कुछ भी बोलो, whatever the name you want, you can say. So depreciation account debit and the credit will be accumulated depreciation. Or some people say provision for depreciation. So this time you are not reducing your asset. You will be showing your balance sheet. You will show your asset in balance sheet as a total cost, and you will show as a less accumulated depreciation, or you can show as a credit side of the balance sheet, as a liability side of the balance sheet as a accumulated depreciation. The percentages, the gap is not providing like they are not restricting. You can show either of the way. You can show as a deduction from the cost, or you can show as a liability, accumulated depreciation, or provision for depreciation. So both presentation is correct. Now, first of all, in this up to here, is there any problem? Up to here, is there any problem? Roshan bhai? Okay, I will make it little big.
मिराज भाई जूम नहीं करना, वो फॉन्ट साइज बड़ा कर लो.
फॉन्ट साइज बड़ा करें. चलो
कंट्रोल ए करो, कंट्रोल ए करते तो फुल शीट सेलेक्ट हो जाएगा, उसके बाद बड़ा कर लो.
Okay, welcome. So this is the basic things which I have told you now. Now in the second level of the things, exam can ask first number question. What would be the depreciation? But yeah, how much? Depreciation will be provided. First question is there. and you have answered this, the first year depreciation will be provided 3 years. The second question can ask gain and loss if asset is sold after 3 years for 8,000. So now the question is asking, get me the gain or loss if you are selling the same asset after 3 years for 8,000. For 8,000. So you have to do the working. Now how the working will be done, please have a look on it. Okay, so how the working will be happen? First of all, what is the initial cost for you? Initial cost is 10,000. You spend on installation 5,000. It means you have a 15,000. Now year one depreciation. Year one depreciation will be 3,000. And how this is being calculated? Divide by 5. Okay, depreciation per year you can calculate. Depreciation per year you can calculate 15,000 divided by 5. You can calculate depreciation per year. So first year you have calculated the depreciation of 3,000. So what is the balance value for you? You have a carrying value of 12,000. Then you will provide the depreciation for year 2. Year 2 depreciation is 3,000. It means this 12,000 minus 3,000. The year 2 value is 9,000. Then year 3. Year 3 you have a 3,000 and you are having a carrying value of 6,000. This is the book value after 3 years. After 3 years. Now you are selling this asset for how much? For 8,000. And what is the sold price? You are selling it for 8,000. So you will have a profit of 2,000. This is called gain on sales. So this is called gain on sale. So you will be calculating, you will be getting the gain on sale of 2,000. So this is the question can ask, give me the gain or loss if asset is sold after 3 years for 8,000. So now you are okay with this. Now there is a small changes that if the asset if the new asset is purchased for 12,000 on 30th June of year 3. Now calculate the asset balance. Calculate the assets value as on 31st December of year 3. Calculate the asset value as on 31st December of year 4. Now the question is remain same and the question is adding, he sell this asset after the 3 years, but before selling he purchased a new asset and that is of 12,000, but he purchased on the mid of the year and now he wanted to know what is the asset value as on the 31st December of year 4. So first of all, I just wanted to ask, are you getting this question or no? So
जो गेन है उसको डेबिट करेंगे, गेन ऑफ एसेट सोल्ड.
So first of all, I want to tell you, when you are getting this type of question, you have to do the working separately. Asset 1, asset 2. So you will not get confused any point of time. So if this question is remain same, the question is saying, okay, you have purchased asset of 10,000 and spent 5,000 on installation. It means this is the 15,000 first of all, and it is the valid life is 5 years. So it means every year you are depreciation for 3,000, and on after the year 3 you just sell it. Okay, then the question is just adding, okay, in the year 3, before the selling of the first asset, you purchase the another asset, and that is of the 12,000. And now he is asking, get me the asset value as on the 31st December of year 4. So I want to highlight you, the first asset is already being sold. So in the year 4 balance, this asset will be not there. The only asset will be there, the second asset, after giving the depreciation for 1.5 years. So now the question has to tell with useful life of 3 years. So it means for the asset number 2, you have to calculate the depreciation. So this was the depreciation on asset number 1. Now you have to calculate the depreciation on asset number 2. Depreciation on asset number 2. So you purchase this asset for 12,000 and their useful life is 3 years. So you can say that, okay, depreciation is 12,000 divided by 3. It means every year you are depreciating for 4,000. So you will be starting the question from here. This is the asset 1. Asset 1, and this is going to be the asset 2. So in the asset 2, you have purchased this for 12,000. There is a 0 installation. So it means this is the 12,000 is the value. Now come to the year 1 depreciation. Year 1 depreciation will be provided for half year. So you can provide for the half year. So it means this is the value left. For year 2, you have to provide the depreciation for full years, and this will be the depreciation. So it means the carrying value will be after 4th year, as on the 31st December of year 4, the carrying value will be 6,000. Now again I am explaining this question. The exam can ask a questions where he will give there the asset 1 and asset 2. Asset 1 you have to make separate working, asset 2 you have to make a separate working. You cannot just mix it. So asset 1 you have done the working, you know that if you are selling it on the, after the year 3, you are getting the gain of 2,000 and asset 1 is finished. There is no existence of asset 1 now. Now come to the asset 2. Asset 2 you have purchased this for the 12,000 and you have used it for 1.5 years. You have to provide the हाँ?
वो नहीं, अभी आजम भाई बोल रहे हैं उनको लिंक नहीं मिला है, मैं अभी लिंक भेजा हूँ.
ओके भाई, कॉमन लिंक है, ग्रुप वाले के लिए कोई अलग से लिंक नहीं है भाई. So it means we have to provide the depreciation for 1.5 years, and that what I have provided here. So you have to be very careful when you are getting this type of question. So as of now, we have just explained about the straight line method. Do anybody has any question? Please ask. Hello?
नहीं, मेरा एक डाउट है कि कोई अभी जर्नल एंट्री पूछता है इसमें.
नहीं, जर्नल एंट्री आपको जानना चाहिए, एग्जाम में तो नहीं पूछता.
क्योंकि मैंने वैली में देखा था ऐसे टाइप में जर्नल एंट्री पूछा है, यही डिप्रिसिएशन, गेन ऑन डिप्रिसिएशन और लॉस.
गेन ऑन लॉस का तो आई हैव सीन मेनी क्वेश्चन, नॉट ओनली वन क्वेश्चन. I have seen many questions asking you to calculate the gain or loss, asking you to calculate the depreciation, asking you to get the balance value, yeah, year-end value. This type of question is this Yeah, this three type of question can be there, but I don't know whether they will ask the journal entry or no. But as a, like, on the safer side, I have told you how, what is going to be the depreciation, how the depreciation will be passed. रोशन भाई, आप कुछ तो कुछ मसले हैं? ओके, थैंक यू।
मिराज
सुर-
भाई वो स्क्रीन शेयरिंग है.
हाँ नहीं, अभी आया
Okay.
उधर।
Okay, now I have just to ask you something.
Yeah, you can.
First-
Please.
First we have purchased the first asset number 1.
Yes, yes.
Then the asset number 2, when we purchased this one.
We purchased in the third year, half of the third year. When you
Okay.
were-
We purchased half of the third year.
Yeah, June 30th of third year, year 3.
Okay, year 3. The first asset is year 1. Okay. Fine. Clear. Thank you.
So this was the question. So now, Surbhi Gangwal, how are you? Yes, Surbhi Gangwal, how are you? Hello? Fine. So, did you get the concept? Is there any doubt with you? No. Swaraj साहब, hello,
Yes, sir.
कैसे हो? How are you?
Sir, is it accumulated depreciation and provisions are same? Both are
Yeah,
same.
Yeah, both are same. From the accounting
The
perspective,
accumulated
both-
depreciation is the total of depreciation which is charged throughout the year, throughout the asset life. But
throughout the
provision
period you are
is
holding. Yes.
the provision is it they are same?
But provisions also you are keep accumulating. Once you are selling, you are just transferring this to the disposal account. So technically there is no difference. Provisions of depreciation also you are accumulating in the balance sheet. Huh?
Yeah.
So once you are selling the asset, you are transferring.
Actually, technically there is no any variation, but the main benefit is
Yeah, tell me the main variation.
the main benefit is the face value of the asset will be there. It is easy to calculate and depreciate it,
See,
especially for the straight line method.
I told you. When it comes to the nomenclature, there is no.
Yeah, there is no.
Okay, first thing. Second thing, both the way you have to keep accumulating in the balance sheet, but selling the asset, you have to transfer to the disposal account. That's all.
So it's liability.
Yeah, it is like, see, the nature is not liability. Nature is like it is a
This is
reduction
contra
from the
asset.
asset. It is like a contra.
Contra
It is
asset?
like a reduction of the asset.
Okay.
The nature is like reduction of the asset.
Oh,
But
okay.
since you have two things, either you can show as a asset less accumulated depreciation. This way you can present your books, or you can present your books, okay, asset as a asset side and accumulated depreciation as a liability side. You can show both that way. But it's always better to show asset less accumulated depreciation, because that gives the more accurate value of your assets as a fair value.
So
Okay.
when we charge depreciation, the entry will be depreciation account up to accumulated depreciation.
Yes.
So which means that the accumulated depreciation will be decrease.
Decrease, no, increase, because this is the nature is like a liability or the reduction of
Yeah.
asset.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
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 So now we'll come to the next level. So until here, I don't believe is there any problem. Now come to the diminishing balance method, or we can say written down value. So this is also written down value or diminishing balance method. First of all, I just want to discuss how it works. Say I took an asset and the asset cost is 10,000. I have done the installation 5,000. Here if I know the rate of depreciation, most of the cases when it comes to the WDV methods or diminishing balance method, they always provide the rate of depreciation. This is the good thing about the WDV. So in my question, the question is providing the 20% depreciation. Ultimately 20% depreciation means actually 20% is the 5 years life. If you convert this 20%, it's actually a 5 years life. So first of all, I just want to tell you that there is a 20% depreciation. So how you will providing the depreciation? In the diminishing balance method, you will be keep writing this way. So first you will write the asset value. This is the total asset. And then for the year one, depreciation will be, year one, the depreciation will be 15,000 multiplied by 20%. So it means that this is going to be your carrying value. This is called the carrying value. Then in the year 2, you will provide the depreciation. Year 2 depreciation will be calculated on this value instead of the original value. This is the difference between the diminishing balance and the straight line. Straight line is always charged on the total cost, always charged on the original cost. But when it comes to the diminishing or W written down value method, it's always charged on the carrying value. So you are providing the 20% depreciation. So you can say that, okay, this is the 20% depreciation which I am providing you. My carrying value is 9,600. And the question is asking, get me the year 3 depreciation. So year 3 depreciation you can calculate simply on this 9,600 multiplied by 20%. So you can say that, okay, this is the year 3 depreciation. It means that 9600 minus 1900. So it means that this is the carrying value after third year. This is the carrying value or book value after third year. This is the carrying value after third year. So this is a very simplest process. Now the question is saying that I sold it for 7,000. Question is saying calculate gain or loss if you sold after 3 years for 6500. Now you have done the working, you know the value, book carrying value, and now you are selling it. So you have a selling price. So say I am selling that, okay, 6,500 is my selling price. So it means this is my gain or loss. This is my gain or loss. So I can say that, okay, this 6,500 is the money I have received. So I can say that this is my loss. 1,180 is my loss. Is my loss on sale of asset. So this is the simple way of doing the. So the question can ask, okay, get me the profit and loss after 3 years if you are selling it for 6,500. So I have calculated and given you the number. Now the question is coming. The very important portion is called the double declining method, and that is from the CMA syllabus. DDM is called the double declining method. This is from the CMA syllabus, and every time they are asking the question from DDM, either for one question or two questions. They checks your understanding, the applications of your learning. So double declining method, first of all, how the rate is being calculated. and what is the principle of providing the depreciation, and until what extent I will provide the depreciation. So you have to take care of three things. First, how the rate will be calculated. Rate will be calculated. Question number 1. Question number 2. How the depreciation is allowed. And question number 3. Until what extent you can provide the depreciation. Okay. Provide the depreciation. So this is the question number 3. So first of all, in my questions, I am taking an assets of 10,000 and installation is 2,000. It means my asset cost is 12,000. Okay, and I have a salvage value which I have decided in the beginning. Salvage value I have decided is 3,000. Salvage value I have decided 3,000. So the point number 1, while you are calculating the depreciation for the purpose of DDM, while you are calculating the rate for the DDM, you have to ignore the scrap value. So it means you have to check how the depreciation rate is calculated. So first of all, depreciation rate under DDM, double declining method. Double declining method. How the depreciation will be calculated under DDM. So you have to calculate the depreciation like you have to calculate the depreciation like 12,000 is your calc, and I have taken the life is 5 years. Life 5 years. So I will be calculating the depreciation cost divided by life. So first of all, I will come to know what is the depreciation. Then I will divide with cost. Then I will multiply with 2. So this looks a little complex. So you just calculate the depreciation per annum under SLM. It means you can simply calculate. So there is a star, ignore scrap value. First thing. So how you are going to calculate? Okay, this 12,000 divided by 5. So 2,400. So how the rate will be calculated? So the rate of depreciation will be what? Depreciation per annum divided by cost. So it means 2,400 divided by 12,000. So my depreciation is coming 20%. Now rate for DDM. Rate for DDM is always a SLM multiplied by 2. So it means my rate will be 40%. So now if anybody has a problem in calculating the rate, because the first things in your exam you will stuck in calculating the rate.
मेरे पे वही है कि पहले साल का रेट 30 है, ये 40।
पहले साल का नहीं, पहले साल का किधर रेट मैंने 30 बोला, 40 मैंने निकाल दिया ना रेट फॉर DDM।
अच्छा अच्छा जी ठीक, 40 पहले साल का।
हाँ पहले साल नहीं, सब साल का ही 40% रहेगा। ठीक है, तो सबसे पहला प्रोसेस ये होता है, फर्स्ट यू ट्राई टू कैलकुलेट द कॉस्ट ऑफ द एसेट। इफ यू आर provided the life, you can divide with the life, get the depreciation amount. By getting the depreciation amount, you can get the rate of depreciation. So you got the depreciation rate. You have to, that is the rate of depreciation under SLM. Under SLM. But for the DDM, you have to multiply the rate by 2. Yani those, you have to multiply by 2. So 20 you got it here, so you have to multiply by 2. It means you got the 40% rate for the purpose of DDM. Now the big asterisks, the big note. Depreciated value cannot go below the scrap value. Below the salvage value. Depreciated value cannot go below the salvage value. Now I will show you how the depreciations will be allowed. Year 1, year 2, year 3 and all. So year 1, so first of all I write the cost here. So what is the cost? I am going to write 12,000 because I have a cost of 12,000 here. So now I am providing the depreciation. Depreciation at the rate of 40% because I calculated the rate 40%. So it means this 40% is going to be depreciation. So what is the book value for me or carrying value? This minus this is the carrying value. So I will calculate, I will copy this carrying value and again I will calculate the depreciation of 40%. Means this is coming 2880. Same way I got the carrying value of 4,320. So I will be copying this carrying value for the year 3 and same way I will calculate the depreciations and I will check the carrying value. It is coming 2,592. This is the year 3. This was the year 1. Year 1, year 2, year 3. So this is the year 1, year 2 and year 3. For the year 1, you have started with 12,000. 12,000, you provide the depreciation of 40%. So you got the book value of 7,200 at the end. You started depreciating in the second year. Second year you applied, you got the depreciation 2880 and you got the carrying value of 4,320. And the year 3 you started depreciation from 4,320 and you provide the depreciation, you got the value. Now we come to the year 4. Year 4. Year 4, first of all, this is the book value. Now the question is, if you provide the 40% depreciation, so it will go below the carrying value. It will go below the salvage value, which is not acceptable under the DDM. This is going to be, this is goes below the salvage value, which is not, oh, it was the salvage value here only. So sorry, even in the 3 years we have to have.
Whereas by
Yes, yes.
even in the straight line method also, it will not go to below the salvage value, I think.
No, in the straight line, it's always becomes 0 because you have started with that calculation.
Sometime if there is a salvage value.
Yes, yes. But here in the year 3 itself, you have to think because you have a salvage value.
वही तो बोल रहे हैं
हाँ नहीं मैं मिस कर गया मैं मेरे को 2400 लग रहा था I missed that line. So salvage value is 3,000. So in the year 3 itself, I cannot give the depreciation of 1,728. I have to redo the calculations. So I have to put here as a 3,000 value, and this is to be calculated as a balancing figure. So in the year 3 itself, you have to do the, you have to check your calculation and workings in the year 3 itself. Because in the year 3, your depreciation is getting, your depreciated value is getting below the salvage value. So it is the point where you have to think. So first of all, I just want to explain from the beginning, double declining methods may first question they can ask how the rate is to be calculated. So first of all, if you want to calculate the rate, you have to follow this small process. Okay, this is the asset cost. This is the installation. Altogether, the asset cost is 12,000, and that the life is 5 years. So, and there is a salvage value of 3,000. So you have to ignore the salvage value when you are calculating the rate of depreciation under the SLM for the purpose of DDM. For the purpose of DDM. So it means you simply calculate 12,000 divided by 5. So it means every year you are providing 12,400 depreciation. So if you are providing 2,400 depreciation, it means what is the percentage? The percentage is actually 20%. Okay, the percentage is actually 20%. You have to multiply and get the percentage, that is 40%. There is another way of doing it also. You can simply, if you know the year, you can simply calculate 1 by year is always comes as a percentage. 1 by year is always expressed in term of percentage. So you can reduce all this calculation also. So there is a second way of doing the depreciation rate. Depreciation rate you can also calculate by doing 1 divided by life. It means here 1 divided by 5. So it means this is the percentage. So there is a two way of doing it. Either you calculate this way, calculate the first depreciation, and then you can do the rate by doing the depreciation by cost, that is the 20%, and you can multiply by 2, and then you will get the rate of DDM. Because for the purpose of rate of DDM is the 2 of SLM. Or there is another way of doing it. You can simply calculate, if you know the life of the asset, then you can do that 1 by life is equal to the rate, and you multiply by 2, you will get the double rate, you will get the rate of double declining method. There is a one thing that has to be remembered, that is the depreciated value cannot go below the salvage value. So I have started my calculation from the 12,000, that is the year 1. Then I provide the depreciation at the rate of the 40, it means 4,800 I have provided the depreciation. Then I got the carrying value is 7,200. 7,200 is the beginning of the year 2. Then I provide the depreciation for the year 2 and the rate of 40%. So I got the balance figure carrying value as 4,320. In the year 3, when I provide the depreciations, my depreciated values goes below the salvage value. And the principle says that you cannot go below the salvage value. So in that case, I have to check, and based on the balancing figure, we can provide the depreciation. So this is the way I can provide the depreciation. In exam, they can ask 3 questions, 4 questions from this DDM. First question, how the rate is to be calculated, what is the last year 3 depreciation, and what is the carrying value after the 3 years. They can ask 3 questions from this portion. जी भाई, रोशन भाई, is it okay? Is it okay? हाँ, इंटू 2 किया तो मैंने तो सिर्फ यहाँ पे आपको ये सिखाया. मैंने बोला ये डेप्रिसिएशन रेट निकालना है अंडर एसएलएम. बाद में आपको शो करने का है. So this is the second way, but sometimes people will get confused. So I just shown the detailed process also, so that you can follow one by one. If you are confident, you can just simply do the 1 by life. Okay?
Miraj bhai, what is the main difference between the DDM and diminishing method?
DDM means may आप double percentage.
No, I understood, but the diminishing method CMA note I is it asking?
No. Why I want
Oh.
to show that when I say the diminishing, you should know how it works.
Uh-huh.
Okay, if I have
Okay,
simply
okay.
shows the calculations, okay, this is the carrying value. So you can ask, okay, which principle it is following.
Acha,
the-
acha. Okay.
Okay, there is a
Got it.
third way of that sum of years digit method I am going to cover now. Sum of years digit method. So sum of years digit method is how it works. First of all, process here. I said there is an asset of 25,000. There is an installation is 5,000. And there is a salvage value. Say 2,000. So what is the depreciable value? This is the depreciable value. Is it 28,000 is the depreciable value? Okay. Now question is given, the life of the asset is 7 years. Life of the asset is 7 years. So you have to write like this: year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then you have to write the weight. So I don't go into the big logics. Simple, you will have to write the reverse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you have to total it. So this is coming up 28. Okay, and you have to provide the depreciation per annum. So this 20,000 divide by this 28 multiply by this 7. It means first year it will be depreciated by 7,000, second year 6,000, third year 5,000, and then 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, and 1,000. So this way you can depreciate your assets. So this is going to be the depreciation every year if you are following the sum of years digit method. Whatever be the life of the asset, you have to just write it reverse, ulta करके लिख लो, and you just simply calculate with the total. Agar if this question has been asked for the 5 years, so you can provide the depreciation like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have to write 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. इसका मतलब total is 15. For the first year depreciation will be 28,000. Divide by this 15. Multiply by 5, because this 5 is the weight, because it's the initial year. So you will be getting the more benefit of the asset. So you have to provide the more depreciation. So you are providing the depreciation in this way. So it is very simple method, but the question can be asked, give me the depreciation for year 3. So in that case, you have to be very careful. The question can be asked, give me the depreciation for year 4. So this type of question they can ask if they are asking the sum of years digit method. Okay. So do anybody has problem in this?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, how do you get the 9,333, sir? Now, just now you shared the screen, right, sir? Yeah, these values, sir. 9,333.
28,000 divided by 15 multiply by 5. This 15
The same
is
is
the
value for all the values,
yes.
sir.
The same formula. I said here the life of the asset is 5 years. When I say life of asset is 5 years, I just changed the questions. I said here the life is 7 years. You can calculate like this. If the question is saying that the life of the asset is 5 years, you can just simply do the reversal and calculate. Reverse the years and calculate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 15 is the total sum of the years, and then you are providing based on the weight. The first year the weight will be high, so you have to provide the more depreciation. Second year the weight will be little low, you have to provide the low depreciation, like that. Got that?
Yes, sir.
So is there any problem until now? Sayed bhai, कुछ तो बोले. एग्जाम में ये चैप्टर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. मिनिमम 2 to 3 क्वेश्चंस होता है भाई, ऊपर नीचे मिलाते हैं.
जी जैसे आपने बोला डबल डिक्लाइनिंग में ज्यादा क्वेश्चन नहीं है भाई.
क्या बोल रहे?
डबल डिक्लाइनिंग में ज्यादा पूछते मैं.
हाँ मतलब बट पूछ तो कुछ भी सकते हैं ना. माइक इज
हाँ,
नॉट
वो भी.
वर्किंग. अच्छा कोई बात. तो देखो मतलब मिनिमम 2 से 3 क्वेश्चन इज एक्सपेक्टेड फ्रॉम दिस पोर्शन. या तो वो रीजन फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग डेप्रिसिएशन पूछ सकते हैं, अमाउंट
अच्छा
डेप्रिशिएटेड.
रीजनिंग में ये भी पूछ सकते हैं कि डबल डिक्लाइनिंग में
Double
मतलब
declining method is known as accelerated method. This two method is known as the accelerated method. EDM and sum of years digit method is known as accelerated method. Method of depreciation. There is a one MCQ question. Okay, they can give you some example. They can ask which one is the accelerated method. It means this is the accelerated method. Second examples they can ask, if you are having the cash crunch, which method you will follow? If you are having cash crunch, CRUNCH in business, which method you will follow? You will follow. So you can say that DDM I should follow because DDM will give the more depreciation, and then after I will follow the year digit, and then after I will follow the SLM. That is the last method. The sequence will be DDM, then sum of years digit method, then after it will come to the straight line method. Okay, so these are the basically 3 types of depreciation which they ask in the CMA paper.
Viraj bhai, can you say again the cash crunch of MCQ?
Array, cash crunch is what, you know, a business is not having the enough money in the beginning. So what they should do, they should reduce their net profit so that they don't need to pay the tax. You know, if you want to increase your expenses, what is the general? If your expenses will increase, it means your net income will decrease. If your net income will decrease, it means your tax liability will get decreased.
Yes.
So this is like a precaution. You know that you have a tax payment. Okay, so you can plan. Okay, you can say that, okay, we will follow the double declining method.
I am just asking about the order. First one is double time, DDM.
Yeah, first will be the DDM. Yes. Second will be sum of years digit method.
Okay.
And then you don't have the option SLM because these all are tax saving tools. आपके पास जो depreciations होते हैं वो क्या होते हैं? It's a tax saving tools.
Okay.
No, but you have to be very consistent. आपको अच्छा लगता है, but if your auditor is satisfied with your reasoning, if the gap is allowing, if your gap is allowing, if your nature of business is allowing, then only you can follow, no? Yes. No. You have to follow the business. Your nature of business should justify this method. Because whatever the depreciation in the हाँ, तो अगर वो क्वेश्चन में साथ में अगर आपको कहीं पर क्लिक मिल गया कि कंपनी इज फेसिंग द कैश प्रॉब्लम, तो फिर आप उनको बता दें कि अगर इफ इट इज अ ऐसे टाइप क्वेश्चन, you can give them the reasoning. Okay, he can go with the DDM. DDM he will have the more depreciation in the year one, then he will have a less depreciation, and so on. Yeah, अगर ये MCQ होगा तो there should be some clue to answer. Otherwise, how you will answer? There must be some
हाँ,
clue
पर
ना.
गाय का डिप्रिसिएशन कैसा करे भाई?
अरे बाबा, गाय का नहीं यार, बिजनेस का है. गाय तो लाइव एसेट्स है.
वही तो बोल रहा हूँ कि मतलब एसेट आइडेंटिफाई करना
बट हो सकता है, अभी अकाउंटिंग में सबका वैल्यूएशन होता है ना.
जी, वो भी तो है, इंटेंजिबल भी मिला, वो मिला सकते हैं।
एसेट वैल्यूएशन
सर मोस्टली इंडस्ट्रीज में कौन सा मेथड यूज होता है?
भाई देखिए, हम तो बोला ना, ये नेचर ऑफ बिजनेस डिसाइड करता है. जैसे मान लो हम लोग एजुकेशन में, तो हम लोग ये अभी ये मेथड यूज कर लेते हैं. कौन सा? WDV मेथड यूज कर देते हैं. ठीक है, तो हम पहले मेडिसिन में थे तो हम पहले वो वाला मेथड यूज करते थे, पहला SLM मेथड यूज करते थे. तो ये डिपेंड करता है आपकी इंडस्ट्री, आपकी अपनी प्रैक्टिस. ये मतलब इसके लिए कोई आपको कोई रिजिड रूल नहीं है. बट इफ यू आर इंडिया, you have to follow the SLM, you have to follow the WDV as per the income tax. SLM method is only allowed to the telecommunication company. That's all. And the mining company. There's a two company, they have the privilege to follow the straight line method. But the rest of the company, they have to follow the WDV methods, because income tax में WDV को ही depreciation का proper method माना गया है.
ओके सर.
हाँ, नहीं तो आप, इसीलिए तो बोला कि आपके लिए वो लाइव स्टॉक है. सी, देयर इज अ लाइव, इट इज फॉर यू अ लाइव स्टॉक फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. और जो आइटम आपकी अगर स्टॉक में अगर आता है तो स्टॉक में वैल्यूएशन नहीं होता, फिर इंपेयरमेंट हो तो वहां पे डेप्रिसिएशन नहीं होता, फिर वहां पे इंपेयरमेंट होता है. हाँ, वो आपके लिए लाइव स्टॉक है ना.
लाइव इन्वेंटरी, हाँ, वो फिक्स्ड एसेट में नहीं आएगा.
फिर वो आप उसका
मेरा
हाँ बोले,
ये प्रोडक्शन मेथड है ना, वो डबल डिक्लाइन में आएगा.
कौन सा मेथड?
यूनिट्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन.
यूनिट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन इज समहाउ इट्स वेरी सिमिलर टू ए स्ट्रेट लाइन ना. आप जितना प्रोड्यूस करते हो अकॉर्डिंग टू यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग.
Straight line, okay.
या इट इज अप्लाइड इन द माइनिंग इंडस्ट्री. यूनिट प्रोडक्शंस, यूनिट ये जो माइनिंग इंडस्ट्रीज में होते हैं ना, वो जितना आप मेट्रिक टन कोयला निकालते हैं, आप उसी रेशियो में यू डेप्रिशिएट द माइनिंग वैल्यूज.
ओके,
ठीक है, दैट इज वन वे ऑफ
हम इस बात पर रोशन भाई को सपोर्ट करेंगे.
क्या?
क्योंकि जो गाय है वो एसेट है
भाई मेरे, आपका लाइव एसेट के रिपोर्टिंग के परसेंट, आप उनके रिपोर्टिंग के वो पर है ना. लाइव एसेट की जो रिपोर्टिंग होती है ना, लाइव स्टॉक की, वो एज अ फिक्स एसेट की रिपोर्टिंग की तरह नहीं होती.
अरे पर उससे हम तो दूध निकाल लें अपना, मतलब उससे वो तो यूज हो रहा है, ओवर द ईयर उसका भी वैल्यू हो जाएगा.
भाई मेरे, मैं तो बताया कि आप उसको फिक्स एसेट की तरह ट्रीट नहीं कर सकते. उसके लिए आपका एक सेपरेट प्रोसेस है. यू कैन नॉट प्रोवाइड द डेप्रिसिएशन, यू हैव टू डू द इम्पेयरमेंट. आप उनके ऊपर जाओगे, आप उसकी वैल्यूएशन लगवाओगे, फेयर वैल्यू करोगे. अगर फेयर वैल्यू उसकी, अगर आपने बुक्स में अगर 5,000 रखा हुआ है, बुक्स में वैल्यू अगर उसकी फेयर वैल्यू 3,000 है, तो आप अपना 2,000 से प्रॉफिट को माइनस करोगे. दैट्स कम्स एज अ इम्पेयरमेंट. उसको आप लॉस बनाओगे, लेकिन नॉट एज अ डेप्रिसिएशन प्रोसेस. डेप्रिसिएशन में आपका ग्रेजुअल उसकी रिडक्शंस होती रहती है, लेकिन वो जो लाइव एसेट है ना, आप उसकी वैल्यूएशन करोगे, लेकिन उसका एक अपना एक प्रोसेस है. यू कैन नॉट
वैल्यूएशन
ब्रिंग.
तो होगा.
हाँ, और वो जो वैल्यूएशंस होते हैं वो आपके इंपेयरमेंट में आ सकता है. कि हाँ भाई मेरी जो एक गाय थी उसका 10 लीटर दूध लेने का कैपेसिटी था, अभी वो 8 लीटर देती है। इसका मतलब है कि उसकी अर्निंग कैपेसिटी कम हो गई। अब इसकी मार्केट में कितनी वैल्यू होनी चाहिए, तो मैं चेक करूंगा मेरे बुक्स में इसका वैल्यू 15,000 है। Then somebody say that okay, no, it should not be reported as 15,000, it should be reported as 12,000 because the production capacity got reduced. So I will do the impairment. I will show that provision on loss of guy or cattle or livestock. That is there in a finance. There is nothing called not, there is no provision is there. There is a provision, but there should be a standard procedure for everything. You cannot consider and treat as a fixed asset.
फिर किस इसमें करेंगे भाई?
भाई मेरा इम्पेयरमेंट किस में करते हैं भाई बताइए? इम्पेयरमेंट जो करते हैं वो कैसे करते हैं?
इम्पेयरमेंट तो अभी इंटेंजिबल एसेट
नहीं टैंजिबल की भी कर सकते हैं। जब उसकी अर्निंग कैपेसिटी कम हो जाती है या उसकी मार्केट खत्म हो जाती है तो आप उसको क्या करते हैं? सिंपली डू द डेप्रिशिएट या फिर उसको रीवैल्यूएशन करके उसको इंपेयर करते हो, उसको वैल्यू घटाते हो।
अच्छा, सही बात। तो उसका भी प्रोसीजर है
भाई, उसका प्रोसेस है। बट अभी मैं आपसे एक बात पूछता है, आप एक इंडस्ट्री चला रहे थे रेडियो बनाने की, बट नाउ वो आज रेडियो नहीं है, उसकी डेप्रिशिएटेड वैल्यू आपके बुक्स में 10,000 दिखा रही है, बट उसको आज कचरे में बेचने जाओगे तो 3,000 मिलेगी, तो उसको आप क्या 7,000 से डेप्रिशिएट करोगे? यू हैव टू डू द इम्पेयरमेंट। आप उसको एक बार में वैल्यू माइनस करोगे। तो वही चीज आपको लाइव स्टॉक के साथ करना पड़ेगा। लाइव स्टॉक में डेप्रिशिएशन नहीं होता, ठीक है? और बाकी थोड़ा सा गूगल भी कर ले।
ये अच्छा पॉइंट है भाई।
वो लाइव स्टॉक तो लॉन्ग टाइम एसेट में नहीं आएगा ना, वो करंट एसेट में आएगा ना
भाई। वो तो लाइव स्टॉक को मैं को नहीं लगता नॉन करंट में उसको रखना चाहिए।
वो तो करंट में आएगा ना,
होना चाहिए
क्यों
करंट
करंट में
में।
आएगा? नहीं, क्योंकि करंट का डेफिनेशन है 1 ईयर और ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल। अगर उसमें आएगा तो आ जाएगा।
एक सेकंड ना बता दे, लाइव स्टॉक का रिपोर्टिंग बता दे। 1 मिनट देखते हैं ना।